Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Redux. What is? And today I'm gonna be doing something a little different. I will be picking up back on the Asta X. Nah, my bad. Natsu X Black Clover what ifs. But I just wanted to come out here with this what if, man. Despite me not liking Dragon Ball, and it's not because of the anime, it's due to because they're fans because they think Goku can solo anybody, which that's not true. Even CC Goku still gets spanked too, and it's not canon. But that's besides the point. This one's for all my DC fans and my Dragon Ball fans. So we're gonna do what if Goku was in Smallville. If y'all never watched Smallville, it's basically Superman growing up to become Superman while using his powers in his high school years, his college years, and some of his adult life as well. So I want to shout out to a very hard going subscriber that gave me this idea, and it was his idea. I wasn't even thinking about it till he said something. I did do a part one, but I didn't finish it. It was on a live stream. I did do kind of a part one, but I didn't get to finish it due to my computer crashing at that time. So yeah, we're gonna actually do the part one properly. So without any further ado, part one of what if Goku was in Smallville. This is gonna be like Dragon Ball X DC, sort of, kind of, not really. And without any further ado, before we get into the what if, Goku is not gonna have some of these abilities that he has, like the Kaioken. King Kai doesn't exist in that universe. I mean, I could really, like, I really could, but if we're being real, King Kai doesn't exist, so there's gonna be some abilities that he won't have necessarily. He'll be more like taking up Bardock, if that makes sense. So, without any further ado, I hope that helps. And I would say that, to make this story even more interesting, we're going to give Goku an extra boost. We're going to give him some transformations that have been lost to time itself, actually. And a lot of Dragon Ball fans, unless you're like a diehard one, only knows about this transformation for real. And me personally, I really like that transformation. I'm not going to reveal what it is, but if you could guess what it is in the comments, then what if you decide, hey, I'll do it. Without any further ado, let's get into this what if. I'm gonna play this intro. Oh, and by the way, I will be doing a gag what if. I never watched Craig of the Creek, but I just finished watching about 6 episodes, and yeah, I'm gonna put your boy Franklin Saint in that. He gonna build this neighborhood brick by brick, pushing these motherfucking snacks, bro. I can't really say, yeah, he finna push this coke, because those are kids, bro. What do I look like making minors sell drugs? That's kind of freaky. And not even freaky, that's just weird. But, I mean, it is a what if, so it's really not going to happen. But, we'll talk about that later, man. But right now, hope y'all enjoy this what if. I'm going to let this intro play, and we're going to get into the what if. Bang, rock ain't fall. I been still on roll. Been touch your toes. Working like a pro. Chill like a little. No, you on the go. No, you on the go. Now, before we start off in Smallville, how we usually start off in canon, we're going to go back, okay? We're going to go back so you can see how everything happened, right? So, long story short, actually, no, we're going to do the long story. So, before, Clark was even around, before Goku was even around, we had neighboring planets, right? We had neighboring planets. We're going to say that Frieza... Ooh, should I add Frieza in here? I could. I really could. I didn't think about that. Really didn't think about that. I don't know. I don't know if I should add Frieza. I mean, that means Darkseid is in Smallville as well. And Frieza can't beat Darkseid for real. I could make. Oh, I got it. I got it. I know what I'm gonna do with Frieza. So so long story short, we're gonna go back to where Planet Vegeta was still there, and Krypton was still there. And as you know, Krypton and Planet Vegeta, we're going to say that they were neighboring planets. The Saiyans tried to fight and take over Krypton, but they miserably failed because they had a yellow sun over there, which had them have powers before the sun went red, draining their powers. So they got their behind kicks. And they had like a mutual agreement with Bardock being one of the scientists and a warrior and becoming closer to Jor-El, right? So once Goku was born, right? Once Goku was born from Gene, right? Jor-El was helping him because at this time we're gonna use the Bardock movie where he went Super Saiyan against Chill. I think it's a Chilled, something like that. Where he went Super Saiyan against Chilled, and then he was telling Jor-El what happened, and he showed him the transformation and how he has these cells called S cells, which greatly improve his power and maybe spike this transformation that he had, exhibiting more powers. And he wanted to test them out. So this was right around where the yellow sun was still in effect on Krypton. So they fighting, and Jor-El realized he got an exponential power boost, which even pushes a seasoned warrior like him under the sun. So after that, we're gonna say a few moments passed as they was fighting. Bardock used his signature riot javelin and blasted Jor-El as Jor-El blocked it with his forearms, as you know, even though it did a little bit, it did a significant damage, but nothing too crazy that the sun won't heal, right? So after they finished their sparring session, Jor-El wanted to take a look at his S cells and how they activate when they're when he's in his transformation, and he noticed that it takes a lot of emotional strain to transform, more like more of anger than happiness or joy, and sometimes sadness as well. So after they did a little bit of research, Jor-El found a way to have more S cells into somebody, right? And that's when Frieza comes back and hears the news about the legendary Super Saiyan, right? And so that's when he destroyed Planet Vegeta, while Brainiac helped Frieza deal with the planet Krypton as well, but not before Krypton fought back against Frieza, severely injuring him to the point where he has let's just say that an external force had to help him get his arm back, which still isn't his regular arm, but it is an arm. After a whole ordeal, the planet is dying and it's ready to get hit. So that's when Bardock and Gene asked Jor-El if he could save his son as well, right? So, knowing Bardock for a long time, he saw him more as a brother who can compare in his strength. And if he saw that in Bardock, maybe his son will have his traits as well. And maybe his son and Jor-El's son could be the best of brothers. Different species, different alien types, same origin story, sort of, kind of, not really. But, so Jor-El told Bardock that he'll assist him if this is the least that he could do, since Bardock and, Jor-El worked together and they helped each other countless times. More so Bardock helping Jor-El. So he feels like this is like the, the debt repayer, to repay all debts. And plus, that's what Bardock said. He said, if this is the only, he said, if you just help me with this, consider our debt repaid, brother. And so that's what he does, and that's when he made the pod bigger, right? He made the pod bigger for Clark and Goku to fit in, and so he he uh so he puts both of the babies in there, and they shoot off towards 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 the portal, right? And so as as um as we see the ship fly off into space, getting ready to hit the portal, that's when Frieza notices it, right? And then as he was about to use the death beam, right? That's when an Omega sign on his forehead appeared on Frieza's forehead as Frieza begins to start, trying to fight the mind effect controls. And that's when a deep, deep presence surrounding Frieza said that you did your job. Now return to where you came from. And once I need you again, I'll find you. And then that's when Frieza snaps out of it as he's wondering what happened and what's going on. As that's when he realized Planet Vegeta is destroyed, which was something he was gonna do anyway. And then that's when he went back to his side of the quote unquote universe that he rules, right? And so that's when we're gonna fast forward to 1983, I believe. The 1990, yeah, like late 1980s, right? That's when Smallville picks up, right? They're having a Crow Festival. Smallville Crows just won the playoffs. I think the championship for high school at the games, right? So they're celebrating, right? John and Martha can't go inside the store to get what they get for the festival, right? And then that's when they run into a young Lana as how everything goes in canon, which Martha Kent says that she wishes that she could have a child, and Lana, being in her fairy outfit, says that her wish will come true, right? And then that's when we get that's when we have the meteor shower, right? As the ship comes through, right? Ships comes through, but it hits the asteroid belt, right? And it makes all these meteors follow after, right? So as that was happening, we cut to Lex Luthor, young Lex, and his father. I forgot his father's name. I think it's Lionel. Yeah, I think it's Lionel. Yeah, it's definitely Lionel. So Lionel is telling Lex that he can't be afraid of heights, just scolding him, even though he's just being a kid. And, if, I would say that most kids that age could probably be afraid of heights because they never flew on a helicopter like that, right? So while visiting the cornfield or wherever they were at, that's when Lex runs into a person hanging up like a scarecrow, since it was it was a humiliation ritual for the mascot for the scarecrow, right? So they he asked Lex to help him, but since Lex is a kid, right? He's looking at this. He was like, "Oh my gosh, is this like a monster or something?" So he runs away, right? He runs, and then that's when the meteor shower happens. Everything goes into canon. I know I'm gonna sound like a weirdo when I say this, but that meteor slapped Lana's parents, bro. Clapped in front of her face. She didn't know what to do. And honestly, I was like, dang. When I first saw that, I was like, that must be a tough way to go, bro. What in the world? So basically after that happened, right? The events of the Smallville meteor shower happens, right? And so that's when trying to think. That's when everything goes to canon. A meteor strike hits the cornfield that that Lex was in, causing him to feel the brunt of the shockwave and get most of his hair singed off, right? And so that's when also the person that was on the stick hanging up like a scarecrow gets affected by he gets infected by the He gets infected by the meteors, making him have electrical abilities, right? And so after the what is it? After I'm trying to figure it out. So after that happens, right? That's when the ship crashes down in front of Martha, Kent, and John Kent, right? And so that's when they both check out the ship, and the ship opens to see two baby boys. One that was wrapped in a blanket, and the other one that was kind of wrapped up in like a furry blanket, like a green furry blanket. Now, if you think I'm trying to make Goku the legendary Super Saiyan, you would be right, but you would be right. You would be absolutely right. Not gonna hold you. But let's be real. That's probably like the only way I could think of to get Goku like on Superman's level. Cause the way I'm trying to do it is like with seasons. So let's say that season 1, 2, Clark would be a little bit stronger, or for example, we'll say Goku will be stronger in season 1 and 2. And then since Clark is unlocking more abilities and getting under the sun more, he'll be stronger for like 3 or 4 seasons, 4.5 seasons. So yeah, it's pretty simple. Like they trade off strength, stay relatively equal in strength, and sometimes edging out. But it's still going to be a close margin. But at the end of the day, if we're using DC scaling, I don't know what to tell y'all, but we're going to make this interesting. So before y'all Goku fans be like, oh, you trying to lowball Goku? I'm not lowballing. That's literally how Superman works, bro. Like, you can't beat... I can name people who still can beat Superman. And no, Pennywise is not one of the people that can beat Superman, even if you use true form Pennywise. Yeah, half of the stuff that true form Pennywise can do, Superman already dealt with it and has immunities or resistance to it. So let's not get off a topic with that. So yeah, like I said, I might make legendary Super Saiyan now, but we're gonna get past that. So we're gonna say that they were welcomed with two healthy babies, right? Two healthy babies, roughly around like almost toddlers, you know. So pretty much everything goes to canon with that, saying that these blessings fell out of the sky, and that's when John said they're not from Kansas and a long way from Kansas. And that's when they said, that's when John said they can't keep the baby. But Martha said, what are you going to tell them? That they both came from the sky? And so reluctantly, Jonathan agrees. So he packs up the ship. Right, on his trailer truck, right? Packs it up. Somehow, some way, he got the ship on there. We're gonna say for plot conveniences, he got the ship on there, right? And so after he got the shit up on it, he put a tarp on it, tied it down like he usually would do, right? And then that's when he goes to the house, and then that's when he runs into Lionel Luthor, that he helped Lex, his son, to get to the hospital, which in turn, that's when Lionel said that if he needed anything done, he'll consider it done, which Lionel helped John and Martha help them forge legal. Well, it's really not legal. It's kind of illegal, but it's Lionel. Who's gonna tell him no? But so he helped them forge adoption papers, so it looked like Goku and Clark were Goku and Clark was adopted, right? So after that happens, we're gonna say a good 15 years pass, and we're in the beginning of 2000s, right? We're in the beginning stages of the 2000s, and that's when Goku and Clark are teenagers, with Clark knowing some of his abilities. Like, he knows he has special abilities, right? And same thing with Goku, because we're gonna say for plot conveniences, his power level is about at we'll say 15,000. I don't know. I feel like that's a pretty good number to start with. I feel like that's a really good number to start with. 15,000. So he could kind of keep up with Clark. You know, Clark's a little bit faster, but he could still keep up with Clark. You know, they have a brotherly rivalry. You know, how Goku always says that he's going to be the strongest, and he always wondered why he has a tail. So, you know, Goku doesn't know where he comes from as well. And, you know, ever since he was little, they always, you know, they always told Goku to keep that tail tucked in when he wears things, right? So, even though it's like part of it's his like most sensitive part, he tries to keep it well hidden, if that makes sense. Just yeah. So that's when let's see, what am I trying to say? That's when Goku, right? That's when Pete and Chloe get on the bus and they bet against Clark, as you know, everything goes to canon. Clark misses the bus, so does Goku, as he says, "Clark, wait up!" And then that's when he appears next to Clark, and he was like, "So the bus left us again, huh?" And he was like, "Yeah." And then that's when Clark looked at Goku. He was like, last one of schools has to do chores for a week. He was like, "I'm not gonna be doing chores. It's been almost 2 weeks since I had to do your chores, so I'm going." And then that's when Goku blitzes off, right? And then that's when Clark goes right after Goku. And so they were running, right? They were both running, right? And then that's when they both showed up at the same time. Since Goku had a little a head start, Clark was able to boost up and, you know, relatively keep the same pace with Goku, as they're both giving it. They're all trying to run the school, right? And so they both get there at the same time. And then that's when Pete says that he knew that Clark and Goku would be around there at the same time. And then that's when Chloe was like, "How did y'all get here?" And then that's when Goku said, "We took a shortcut." And then that's when Chloe said, "Through a black hole." And then that's when Clark was like, he was like, "Yeah," trying to humor Chloe. And then that's when she rolled her eyes in like a laughing, you know, good friendly way. So they all walked to to class, right? And then that's when I was about to say Goku sees Lana. No, Clark sees Lana. And you already know how that went in canon. Clark can't get within a certain distance of her because he gets weak in the knees, because, you know, since she has a kryptonite necklace on, right? So that's when he falls. Everything goes to canon. Clark gets a little sick, but after she goes away, he feels better. And then that's when Goku was like, "You okay?" He was like, "Yeah." He was like, you kind of look like when you see those green rocks and you just get really sick and weak." He was like, "I don't see any green rocks around here, but I wouldn't be surprised if they had any necklaces about them. So just be careful." And you know, Goku has Goku's kind of dripped out. He got he got some let's say he got some like white jeans on. He got a black collar on, you know, some nice loafers on with some glasses. Like, you know, I'm trying to give him like the Gohan scholar treatment, right? I'm trying to give him the Gohan scholar feel, right? So that's pretty much what I'm trying to do, right? So we're gonna say that when it comes to fighting, Goku has an innate ability to fight, if that makes sense. Like, he could throw a good punch, throw a good kick. If he trains enough, he could, you know, throw some roundhouse spinning back kicks and stuff. When it comes to ki, his ki can flare, causing things to like disperse around him, like not a solar flare, but like more like a ki wave explosion, like a ki wave force explosion. How Goku did in the Namek saga when he got into like a crouching position and extended his arms both ways, and it just pushed everything back. So he could kind of do something like that. Key Blast, I don't. I would say Key Blast would come later once he starts to realize what kind of energy it is. Um, so yeah, um, well, I would say that like he would like innately learn about the energy that he does have, cause we'll say that when he gets upset, he starts charging his energy aura, and he can kind of see the energy that he possesses. So it'll be more like he learns as Clark learns as well. So we're gonna say that yeah, all that happens. It goes to canon. Pretty much everything goes around the school. How Clark wants to join a football team, and Goku doesn't have those like aspirations like that. He doesn't want to be on the football team. He wants to be like we're gonna say that he wants to be like a fighter, like boxing, MMA, maybe kickboxing. I would say kickboxing. Yeah, kickboxing is good. I do kickboxing. You do jujitsu, I'm gonna be like, you know what, man? I'm just gonna stand up and walk away from you. I am not trying to be folded in a pretzel any way, shape, or form. So yeah. I don't like BJJ. No, it's meant to be on the ground. So if you stand up, it really has no effective uses. But I'm not gonna discredit it because I'll be seeing a lot of people. I learned how to do a Kimura and armbar. I feel like that's the only things I need for real, and maybe a good chokehold as well. So those are probably like the basics I would ever learn. But to all my BJJ guys, I'm not just crediting y'all. It takes a lot of hard work and dedication to do what y'all do. Y'all have insane strength, man. Every time when I did take the BJJ class and I rolled with this big dude, like he would just let me just train. Cause it's like, bro, you're big as stuff. And me trying to wrestle you and try to get you on the ground takes a lot more work. Even though he did give me credit to say that I'm really fast for my size, he was like, yeah, I could just hold you. I'm like, I wouldn't even doubt that, man. So, hey, if Mighty Mouse could do it, I could do it too. But I'm not Mighty Mouse. But when it comes to certain things, when it comes to kicking and throwing them hands, oh, yes, sign me up. I love that. Love doing them leg kicks. But that's enough about me. So we're gonna get back to the story. That's when if we right where I left off at, get shown around the school, class starts, and that's when the person that was hung up as a mascot all those years ago comes back with powers. He gets revenge on the people that hung him up, starting with the dude that was working in a mechanic shop, right? So he was in a mechanic shop, right? And that's when a dude electrocuted him and got his revenge. Next day comes with Clark and Goku walking to school, right? Walking to school, Lex comes, something happens. I think he hits like a barbed fence. Not a barbed fence, or something fell off. Something fell off the back of a truck, and it swerved into Clark, with Goku sensing it as he, did like a backflip over it. Like, this man jumped over it. And he was surprised himself. And he was like, Clark, as he saw Clark get hit, right? He saw Clark get hit and go in the water. So that's when Goku also dove into the water to see if Clark was okay. But then he saw Clark as Goku knows Clark has insane strength, even stronger than him sometimes. So, well, most times, unless Goku's like angry and they start, tussling out, which he could keep up with Clark for a little bit, for a short amount of time. Everything goes to canon with that. Clark saves Lex, and Lex wants to thank him and everything and all that other stuff. And so that's when we get into more of the origin stories about Clark and Goku, how John showed him the ship, and Clark doesn't want to believe it because he wants to be normal as well. So that's when Goku and Clark kind of have like a identity crisis, more so a Clark. And then that's when Goku said that, he said, it's okay not to be it's okay not to be normal. It just makes us unique. And then he was like, that just makes us, if we have the powers that we do have, try to help where we can. And then that's when Clark was like, you know what, Goku, you're right. And then so, they, dap it out, hug it out, they're brothers, right? And then that's when Clark apologizes to John, right? And so we're gonna say, I think this was around like the not I don't think it was like homecoming yet for them, or maybe it was like a homecoming, cause that's what no, I don't think their school started right there. So pretty much everything goes to canon. That's when oh yeah, so after that Whitney decides to hang Clark up. I forgot he did that shit. Right. In straight season 1, since we're gonna get to that too. So as the dude that was hung up from the previous the crow humiliation rituals, he's just making his round, knocking all the people out who did it one by one, right? And so that's when Clark also joins the joins. I don't think he joins. I think he was like being a mascot, I guess. And then that's when they catch him by surprise and put Lana's that's when they put Lana's that's when they put Lana's necklace on, since Whitney said you wanted it so bad, take it. And since it had kryptonite, it's severely weakening Superman, right? So they were able to get him, right? They got him, they put him in a car, and then they drive off. Which Goku was just walking with Chloe, hanging out. They're going to the library, and that's when Goku senses something a little something that's amiss, right? He senses something that's amiss, and that's when Goku was like, "Hey, Chloe, can I he said, I have to go to the bathroom. Yeah, I have to go to the bathroom. And that's what Chloe was like, I don't know why you're telling me that. Go to the bathroom. We can catch up later. All right. And it's like late at night because he doesn't like Chloe walking home by himself. And am I gonna make Goku like Chloe? I don't know. I'm not below it. I'm not above it either. But I will say, I don't know who Goku should be in love with. I really don't know, honestly. Like if we're being real, I don't know, because I don't know. We got Chloe, we got Lois, we got Lana, but Goku likes Lana. We got Chloe, Lois, Lana. We got who else? The Indian girl that could shapeshift into. She was like a skinwalker. You could say that. Who else we got? We got Alicia. I forgot that. She could teleport. Maybe that's how Goku learns instant transmission. Let me stop. But we got a lot of women to choose from in Smallville. Even though it's not a lot, it kind of feels like it's a lot. We even got Tess. Honestly, I can't see that happening. That's even that one gives me the heebie-jeebies. Or we could do Supergirl whenever she comes. What else can we do? That's all the ideas I got so far. But if I need to make an own character, an OC, sure, like we could do that too as well. Am I a big fan of doing OCs? Not really, unless the what ifs can justify what I'm doing, right? But so far, I like to keep it canon with the canon options. I feel like the best one would be Supergirl, but hey, I may be wrong. So y'all could, hey, we'll get there eventually. But right now, Goku's really not leaning into trying to get in a relationship. But we're not gonna deny the hormones of a teenager because, but is Goku feeling like that? Goku has self-respect. He's not going to do that crazy stuff. First of all, I don't condone that, so don't think that this channel condones that. We don't. But, yeah, Goku's really not feeling like, ladies. He's just more focused on himself and trying to get stronger, since he found out he's just like an alien, just like his brother, which is kind of cool. And we're going to make Clark a little bit older than Goku. So they're around the same age. We really don't know who would be older. I would say Clark would be, I would say Goku would be older, but since Clark acts so much like a big brother, uh, Goku thinks that, Clark is the big brother, even though Goku knows that he's older by a little bit. And when I mean by a little bit, I mean by like a little bit. But we're going to say that Goku has a lot of respect for Clark and stuff. And it's like vice versa. They both got respect for each other. But yeah. So that's when Goku goes, and that's when he unlocks his first innate ability, ki sensing, right? He sensed it. He sensed not like energy sensing. Since I would say Superman leaks a lot of energy since he absorbs the sun. So that's when Clark was able to figure out why. He was like, why is Clark's energy so low? He was like, even if he sleep, his energy will still be relatively high, because he had that ability for a while. He just couldn't really understand it, right? He really couldn't just understand how to like properly use it, since he could sense people's like energies, people's energies, human energy, and his brother's energy, right? And so that's when Goku begins to run over there, moving fast like a blur, right? And so that's when Goku makes it to the cornfield, right? Same time as Lex does, but Lex finds Clark earlier, and then that's when as Lex was able to find Clark, right? That's when Goku was like, he showed up right where Lex did, and then that's when he was like, "Who are you?" He was like, "Name is what should his human name be? Goku? Goku? I don't know, man. I don't know what his human name should be. Goku. I don't even know if they even have a Goku in that universe. Son Goku, Monkey King, but I really don't know what his name should be. That's a really good question. What should Goku's name be in Smallville? Honestly, nah, we can't do that. If I say John, Goku John, nah. Should I just keep him as Bardock Jr.? Call him BJ? I don't know. We're just going to say Goku, bro. I really don't know. You know what? Honestly, I feel like it's better if he doesn't have a human name. We're just going to say that, it's just Goku for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know, bro. I really don't know what to name this man. I don't know what to name Goku. I really don't know. Kakarot? That seems, no. Bardock? I could say that, but I don't know. It's just, you can't really give Goku a human name because Goku. I don't know. In a world like Smallville, Goku just seems kind of crazy. But we're just going to keep it Goku for now. I don't even think I'm going to try to give him a human name. I can't do that. What does Goku look like? I would say Goku looks like an atom. Nah, let me not play with Goku's top like that. But, yeah, we just going to keep it simple. We just going to say Goku. So, Goku and Lex help Clark down as that's when Goku noticed the necklace, right? He noticed the necklace, and then that's when Goku snatches it off and throws it, which instantly makes Clark gets all his energy back. And so that's when prior to that, Clark was doing an investigation about this dude that was going around electrocuting people that did the Scarecrow, the Crow's mascot humiliation to him. So after he learned that, that's when Whitney and friends jumped him and did all that other stuff. And so he said that he had to stop this guy. And so that's when Clark and Goku said that, he's okay and everything. And that's when they, go off and try to find this dude, which was really not hard to find. He was going after the next person. How it was sort of like in canon, the water, I think it was like at a water plant or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they both showed up to the water thing, right? And that's when Goku, that's when they both tried to stop the dude, right? So Goku Clark, got touched by the electricity, flew back since he shot it at him, right? He shot it at him and he kind of flew back, which Clark was kind of surprised that he was still standing a little bit, right? And so that's when Goku came trying to punch him, right? So he punched him good, and then that's when Goku and him trying to like get like a hand grip motion, right? And since he has kryptonite in him, since he was affected, like we'll just say his strength is a little boosted, and then that's when he uses his electricity, which catches Goku off by surprise, and then that's when he this is the first time we see it, right? We see this we're gonna say it's like this bluish aura, right? That coats around Goku's body as he begins to unknowingly charge his energy, right? So he's charging his energy as everything's getting blown around, right? And then that's when his hair starts to go up. No, he's not going Super Saiyan. He's just trying to overpower this person that's using electricity right now. So he gets you innately uses like a key force wave to push him back, and then that's when Goku starts to look at his hands as he sees all this energy around him, right? And then that's when a guy gets back in his car, right? He gets back in his car, right? And then that's when he hits Goku with the car, right? But since Goku is strong and pretty durable, he grabs the car by the front and tries to push it off of him, right? So he skids back into the wall, and then that's when the water starts to leak out, and then that's when Goku was like, Clark, the wall. His powers is electric. Water and electricity don't go together. And then that's when Clark zoomed towards the wall, and then that's when he punches the pipe, right? He punches the pipe, and the water, comes out everywhere, filling up the car, and in turn overloading the guy and shocking him, and that it would be the villain for the week being defeated, right? And so after he's defeated, that's when Goku grabs the car door and rips it off, and then helps the guy out, and then that's when we fade to black. So after the authorities get there, they take him in, they take him away, right? And we pretty much ended off in canon where Goku and Clark are having a moment saying that they don't know where they are or where they come from or what these abilities are, but they will try to use it for the better of the people and, just use it for good in general, right? So as that happened, Lana and Clark have their moments, and now she's currently upset. Well, not upset because she doesn't know what happened, but Clark hints to it as he was able to find her necklace, right? Able to find her necklace. He gave it to her. Clark gave it to her, but with the help of Goku. Goku gives it to her, and then that's when he said Clark found it, and then that's when Goku and Clark and Lana started to talk. She didn't put the necklace on yet. She had it in a box that Goku made, which Clark gave to her, right? And so they started talking. He's like, "How did you find it?" Which her opening it and slightly weakening Clark as she closed it, and then that's when Clark said, "Ask Whitney," because that's when he hinted at what Whitney did to Clark for the necklace. And so after that, we end this episode with them going back to the barn, and Goku more like sleeping in the house with Clark having Clark does have the barn and his own room, but Goku likes hanging out in the barn more. So that's when they both look out the sunset out the barn, and they both fist bump each other, and that's where I'm gonna be leaving this What If Fall. So this is season 1, episode 1 of Smallville X Goku, or Smallville X Dragon Ball Z. So I hope y'all enjoyed this episode, this What If. Like I said, I did do part one, sort of, kind of. So I just revamped some things that happened in part one, since my laptop kind of shut off on me early. So I hope y'all enjoyed this What If. Make sure y'all comment, like, and subscribe. Yeah, make sure y'all comment, like, and subscribe. Check out the Asta X Natsu X Black Clover What Ifs I got going on. If y'all enjoyed that, I'm gonna link the video right here. If y'all can start with part one. If y'all new to the channel, if y'all new to the channel like Black Clover, I recommend y'all watch that one. And if y'all aren't new to the channel or just haven't seen a video, I'll just leave that part one right there too. And if you do enjoy Superman content, I do have the movie posted right here. I do have the movie. So if y'all new and y'all want to see more Superman content or more Superman what ifs, I did What If Superman Was Invincible. And it's a 9-hour long movie. So if y'all want to listen to that, put it in the background and all that other stuff, just go for it, man. We here for it. So I hope y'all enjoyed the What If. Comment, like, subscribe. What do y'all want in this What If? Should I add more Dragon Ball characters? Should I add more DC villains? We already got Frieza as a main antagonist, plus all the other main villains of Smallville as well. So if y'all like what I'm doing, just make sure y'all should support the channel. We almost at 200. We literally halfway, a little bit more than halfway there to 200. So I just hope y'all enjoyed this What If overall. Comment, like, subscribe, like I said. And this is Redux What If signing off. Oh, and before I go, after I finish this part and this uploaded, I will be continuing What If Natsu was in Black Clover, so we could finish the Mars fight and get on to more of the city, because I know what y'all ready for. Like, let's be real. Y'all ready to see Asta's demon mode when that fight comes? Y'all ready to see y'all also ready to see the if Natsu gets his Dragon Force mode, or like a stage 1 to Dragon Force mode before he starts partially turning into a dragon, sort of, kind of, not really. But yeah, we already know what y'all ready for, and I know y'all ready for those Magic Knight fights where the guilds go against each other like a mock battle. I know what y'all want to see, and boy, oh boy, am I going to deliver. But like I said, I hope y'all enjoyed this What If, and I'm gonna start picking back up some What Ifs as well. Some of them that were actually really good, but I just stopped doing for some reason, or I just branched off into others and I kind of forgot. So I hope y'all enjoyed that What If. And this is Redux What If signing off. Again, comment, like, subscribe. I'm always active on the channel. If y'all got questions or any ideas, let me know. Now, if you excuse me, I'm going to finish this Black Clover episode, so I'll have pretty much all the details for that. We got an hour special for the part 4, or part 5, I believe, for Black Clover. So we're going to make it like a 35-minute episode for that. Yeah. And what? There was another anime Cobra Kai. I will be watching a recap video of Cobra Kai with all the episodes combined. I will be doing What If Young Bruce Lee was in Cobra Kai. So it will take place after Ip Man 3. Or I could say yeah, no. We're not going to do that. We're going to say after Ip Man 4, when he teaches his son Wing Chun, right? After the end of Ip Man 4, since he had cancer, right? So we're going to say that Bruce Lee was no. We're going to say, yeah, he taught Bruce Lee as well. So his son and Bruce Lee are the last people that actually trained with him. So after that, it'll pretty much take place after Bruce Lee, after Ip Man 4, where his master passed away, but he trained it. So he'll have like this I think it's called TKD, where he has his own style of using martial arts while incorporating Wing Chun and taking other martial arts things to better his martial arts as well. So it'll be like an unorthodox fighter, like a sort of kind of like a drunken fist fighter. But yeah, I hope y'all are ready for that as well whenever that comes out. So far, I'm really just focused on Black Clover, X Natsu, and Young Justice Sakuna. I know I should be doing there's a lot of what ifs I know I should be doing, but I'm just trying the best that I can right now. So just give me some grace, and I will just try to push content out as much as I can. So hope y'all enjoyed this what if, and this is Redux What Ifs signing off. Peace.